Welcome to 100 Stories for My Daughter. Here you'll find short and inspiring stories for children and adults about love, dreams, and believing in yourself. Each story is a small gift for the soul. Listen, share, and be inspired. In a cozy nook of the forest, nestled under the roots of a great oak tree, lived a young hedgehog named Busy. Every night, while the moon shone and stars twinkled above, Busy would pull out his pencils, brushes, and paints and dive into his drawings. His pictures were full of swirling colors, bright flowers, and fantastic creatures only he could dream up. But no one else ever saw them. Busy kept his drawings hidden in a box, thinking they're just not good enough for anyone to see. He felt a warm, happy glow whenever he was drawing, but each time he looked at his work afterward, he'd sigh. What if they're not good enough? What if no one likes them? One night, Busy was so deep into drawing a magical forest filled with colorful birds that he didn't hear his friends approaching. Bunny, Owl, and Squirrel were on their way home when they noticed the soft glow from his little home. "Is Busy awake so late?" whispered Bunny. "I wonder what he's doing." They tiptoed closer, and to their surprise, they saw the drawings spread out around him. They peeked through the window, eyes wide with wonder. "Look at that! His drawings are amazing!" Squirrel exclaimed softly. "I never knew Busy was such an artist." Owl nodded with a wise smile. "These pictures should be shared with everyone. They're too beautiful to keep hidden away." Busy looked up, startled. "Oh, you've seen my drawings?" His cheeks flushed and he started gathering his papers. "They're just for fun. Really, they're not anything special." But Bunny stepped forward, her eyes sparkling. "Busy, they're wonderful. Why don't we have a forest exhibit? You could show all your drawings to everyone." Busy's eyes widened. "An exhibit? Me? I don't think anyone would like them that much." But as his friends looked at him with warm smiles and encouraging eyes, Busy began to feel a tiny, hopeful flutter in his heart. Could his pictures really bring others joy? With a shaky smile, he whispered, Maybe we could try." The very next morning, Busy Hedgehog was still feeling a mix of excitement and worry. The idea of a forest exhibit sounded wonderful, but also a little bit terrifying. What if his friends were just being nice? What if no one else liked his work? Bunny, Owl, and Squirrel were already busy with their plan. They rushed back to Busy's home, bringing bits of colorful leaves, wildflowers, and even smooth stones to help decorate the exhibit. They wanted to make a beautiful, welcoming space where Busy's drawings could shine. "Good morning, Busy," chirped Bunny, bounding in with a bunch of flowers. "We're ready to set up your forest gallery." Busy fidgeted with his paws, his heart pounding. "Are you sure? I mean, what if nobody wants to look at my drawings? Maybe they'll think they're silly." Owl, who was arranging leaves around the room, looked over his glasses with a calm, wise gaze. "Busy, your drawings are full of imagination. They're special because they're yours. No one else can see the world quite like you do." Squirrel nodded, placing stones around Busy's drawings to frame them. "Your pictures make us happy. Imagine how many smiles they could bring to others." Busy took a deep breath, feeling his worries quiet down just a little. He carefully laid out some of his drawings, and the room began to fill with scenes from his imagination. a sparkling lake under the stars, flowers with faces that seemed to smile, and tiny animals dancing under giant mushrooms. When they were finished, Busy stepped back to look at his little gallery. His friends had made it look so inviting, so cozy. For the first time, he felt a flicker of pride in his heart. Maybe his drawings weren't so silly after all. Just then, he heard footsteps and excited whispers outside. It was his neighbors, Chipmunk, Deer, and Little Mouse, who'd heard about the exhibit. Slowly, Busy's cheeks turned pink as he watched the forest animals gather at the entrance, looking around in awe. Mouse peeked at him shyly. "Busy, did you really make all of these? They're so beautiful." Busy took a deep breath and nodded, his heart filling with both nervousness and joy. "Yes, I did." Bunny nudged him gently. "See? They're already bringing happiness to others just like we said." With each smile and cheerful whisper, Busy began to realize that maybe, just maybe, his drawings were worth sharing after all. As more forest animals arrived, the little gallery started to buzz with excitement. Every animal gazed at Busy's drawings, each one noticing new details, the way the moon glowed on the lake, the gentle smiles of the flowers, and the playful animals in hidden corners of the forest scenes. Chipmunk clapped her tiny paws together. "Busy, I didn't know you had such a wonderful imagination. Your drawings make me feel like I'm in a dream." Even Deer, usually so shy, stepped forward. "Busy, would you make a picture for me someday? Something with the stars?" Busy's cheeks flushed with warmth. He'd always drawn for himself, never imagining that his drawings could mean something to others. For a moment, he felt a spark of excitement, but just as quickly, a small voice of doubt crept into his thoughts. "What if it's too much?" he whispered to Bunny, who stood nearby with an encouraging smile. "I don't know if I can do this." But Bunny looked him in the eyes, her own sparkling with excitement. "Busy, remember when you first showed us your drawings? How happy that made us. Sharing your creativity brings joy, not just to others, but to you too. It's okay to take it one small step at a time." Owl, listening nearby, nodded with a wise expression. "That's right, Busy. We all started small with the things we love, but step by step, they grow, and so do we." Busy looked around at his friends, at all the animals who'd gathered with kind smiles and encouraging words. Each face reminded him that he wasn't alone in his dream. He took a deep breath, feeling his nerves slowly turn into a gentle excitement. "All right," he said with a small smile. "If you think others might like it, then I'd like to try sharing more." His friends cheered, filling the little gallery with warmth and laughter. And in that moment, Busy felt a sense of courage he hadn't felt before. A courage to keep creating, keep dreaming, and most of all, to keep sharing his special world with everyone around him. With all his friends' encouragement, Busy decided to prepare for a real forest exhibit, an official one where every animal would be invited. Though a flutter of nervousness still tickled his heart, he felt stronger now, knowing his friends believed in him. As the day of the exhibit drew closer, Busy added finishing touches to his favorite drawings, carefully arranging each piece so that it told its own story. His friends helped him set up a cozy space under the big oak tree with leafy garlands, soft moss cushions, and little candles to light up each picture when evening fell. On the morning of the exhibit, the forest animals began to gather, chattering excitedly. Bunny and Squirrel welcomed everyone at the entrance, and Owl, sitting high in the tree, announced, "Today, we celebrate Busy's creativity. May his drawings remind us of all the colors and wonders hidden in our forest and in each of us." As Busy stepped out to greet everyone, his paws shook a little. But with a deep breath, he looked around at his smiling friends and felt their warmth and encouragement wash over him. "I can do this," he told himself. One by one, the animals approached each drawing, studying them closely and letting out little gasps of joy. "I feel like I can smell the flowers in this one," said Deer, gazing at a meadow scene. "And look at these mushrooms," squeaked Mouse, pointing to a picture where animals were dancing under giant toadstools. "It makes me feel like I'm right there, dancing with them." With every kind word and every smile, Busy felt his confidence grow. And as he listened to his friends laugh, whisper, and point out the tiny details, he realized something wonderful. His drawings were bringing them happiness, happiness he'd never imagined when he kept them hidden away. At last, Owl perched beside him and gave a nod. "See, Busy? Your world was always beautiful. You just needed a little courage to let it shine." Busy's heart swelled with pride, and for the first time, he didn't feel nervous. Instead, he felt a deep, joyful satisfaction. His drawings were no longer just his. They belonged to everyone to share in and enjoy. He turned to his friends with a smile and said, "Thank you for helping me take this brave step. I didn't realize how much joy it would bring to share this part of me." And Bunny gave him a hug, saying, "Busy, we're just glad you let us in." As the sun set over the forest, the exhibit glowed with warmth and laughter, and Busy, with his heart full of joy, knew he'd taken the bravest, most important step of all. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the forest, the animals continued to marvel at Busy's drawings. Some whispered to each other about their favorite details, while others stood quietly taking in the colors and stories hidden in each piece. Busy's world, a world of magic, laughter, and beauty, now felt alive in the hearts of everyone who saw it. At the edge of the crowd, Deer leaned down to Busy, her eyes soft with gratitude. "Your drawings make the forest feel even more magical, Busy. Thank you for sharing them with us." Busy's heart was so full he almost didn't know what to say. He felt as though he'd found a new strength within himself, a strength he hadn't known he had until now. The nervousness he'd felt just that morning had melted away, replaced by a warmth and joy that seemed to glow brighter with every smile he saw. After the last animal wandered home, only Bunny, Owl, and Squirrel stayed behind to help clean up. Busy carefully gathered his drawings, holding each one with pride, as though it were a little piece of his heart he was keeping safe. Owl gave him a wise smile. "Busy, I hope you'll keep sharing your drawings. You've given us a beautiful gift, and I think everyone would love to see more of your creations." Busy nodded, feeling braver than ever. "I will," he promised. "There are so many ideas and colors in my mind, and now I know how special it is to share them." Bunny jumped up and clapped her paws. "Oh, I can't wait to see what you create next, Busy. Your art makes the world a little brighter." That night, as Busy lay under the stars, he felt happier than he ever had before. He realized that creating wasn't just about making something for himself. It was about sharing joy, laughter, and a little bit of magic with everyone around him. And so, as he drifted off to sleep, he dreamed of all the new pictures he'd create, knowing that each one would be a part of the forest and the friends who believed in him. Busy had found his courage, and with it, he'd found something even greater, the joy of sharing his heart with the world.